Welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing mixed media Mayhem, and the prompts today is a 12 by 12 stencil, ink, and a background stamp. And I'm also using my counterfeit kit challenge for some of my papers today. So I've got the 12 by 12 all set up, and I'm going to scrap up this picture of my husband just relaxing on the couch. I snuck a picture, and then this was when we were playing with the Tune Me app, and so I played with that. So I also pulled out this Delusions paint, which is in London Blue, I think is called. And it is so dried out and thick, and I'm going to try and use it anyway. So I added some water to the container, and I'm moving it around, and you can see how icky it is. And then I'm going to spread it out on my wax paper. I'm going to add some more water and mix that around and get it on my page. So it does work out okay. The paint was like not completely crusty hard dry, but it definitely needs a lot of water and TLC to make it work okay here. So it is what it is. I'm going to use my brayer, and I'm just going to bray it on this Crafter's Workshop stencil, which is new to me, and it is one of two 12 by 12 stencils that I have now. So the other one is just like paint swatches and all sorts of different things, but isn't meant to be used on like a 12 by 12 page. So I figured I needed a background stencil to do these prompts today, because that's not something I have any of. So I have like some 12 by 18 or some 6 by 18s, but none of this size, which is all good. And so I am going to use my palette knife to smear some more paint into some of the places where it's just not going into for the brayer. And I like the texture that this is going to give eventually, but just smooshing it, trying to make sure that I have most of the spots. I thought about grabbing a little bit more, but I have lots on that wax paper still. And yeah. Getting it done. Underneath is a textured blue cardstock. I've had it forever. And then here's the reveal. This was way faster, I think, than using my ink for this big one. And then I went and cleaned up and cleaned the stencil and my brayer and all that kind of stuff, and hit it with my heat gun for a good 5 minutes. It's still tacky, but it's not wet. And so then I pulled this piece of paper out of my counterfeit kit, and it is a old hip kit club paper, and I am going to take a bit from the middle, and just because I want a little bit of that plaid-ish showing in one of the square wides, but I didn't want to steal from the outside in case I wanted to use this as a border or something else with this piece of paper. And if I only want this little bit, I might as well take it from a spot where it's not going to matter. So, and then I'm going to trim it down so it's tight against the dark blue of this pattern, because I like that better. Well, anyways, where there's more dark blue of the pattern, because there's still light blue there too, but medium blue, we'll call it. There's 3 different blues there, so. And then I missed some paint, so I'm going to smear the paint, and I'm like, meh. And then clean that up, and then smushed it on some more with the paint, and you don't really see the paint, but that's okay. It's going to get lots of splatters later. And so now my picture is backed, which is perfect. I'm going to ruffle up these edges to add some more texture. I actually threw that other piece into the garbage bin. Look at me. Actually, it'll be recycling, but. And then I have this stamp from, I don't know how to say his name, but Stamperia. It's got like a lot of, it's called Airplane something, I think. It's got a lot of gears on it, and I thought it kind of worked for what the stencil is. And here's my background stamp and ink done. And I am going to end up very, very blue with this navy blue ink and the way that the stamp is. Not so bad right now, but oh, you wait and see. I end up blue for a day and a half. So, see, already blue. But it's just how I need to hold this to be able to get it where I want it to be. And I wanted it to be messy stamping, and so you can see a little bit of the gears, not too much of the gears, and look how blue I am. Oh my. And then I'm cleaning off my stamp with a wet wipe, and I was like, oh, but there's a lot of ink there. So I just stamped it off a little bit more. And I went through a lot of wipes in this one, but meh. So then I want to put my photo just a little off center of that side there, that busy part. And then I thought a film strip would work really good, but I don't like the blue one. Kind of want to pull in some more black. So I pulled out these ones. They're $49 in Market. I think I got this package. Actually, I know I got this package from Some Assemblage Required a while ago. I'm just looking at the tags and things to see if tickets, tabs, bits and pieces, to see if there's something there I want. In the photo, it says Dune Me, because that's the app we used, and we had a free trial, and we were playing with them. So I want to cover that up. I have this scrap piece of acetate that I'm like, hey, that would work to bring in a little bit more of this black and a different texture. So look at me, 2 pieces of acetate on here. That's exciting. And I've had this like swirly frame bit that I have like 3/4 of it left. Oh, it's probably, well, at least 10 years old. At least. So yay! Getting some of my stash done. And on pages. I was actually pretty excited about getting that piece on here because, yeah, I have a lot of stuff that just needs to get used up. And then gluing these pieces together because glue works better with this stuff. And my Nuvo works pretty good with it. And then I'm going to pull out this piece of paper from my counterfeit kit. And I'm just going to take the blue stripe because I wanted more blue. And I like this color of blue. And yep, that's all I used from that piece of paper is this, the blue stripe. I'll use more of that paper in Sunday's video, but and then scuffing this up, I didn't want to give it a traditional banner, so I just have this diagonal cut piece on the end because I also didn't want it to be straight, and so I liked that, and then I decided I could save some of that. I don't know what for, haven't used it yet, but those 2 little pieces are, I don't know, we're saving? No, we're saving. I'll save it. And then getting it glued down. And I do want to get some other layers. So I'm going to take a look in my scrap bin. And then this is a calendar piece from a couple of years ago. And I just kept the tops of them because it's that notebook style paper, but I can use it. So, and it slides just the tiniest hint of green on the page in one tiny little spot. That's okay. I'm not going to worry about that. It has that same kind of grungy feel that I'm kind of going with right now. And then I did want a little bit of something above and below the photo, so I tried this scrap piece of blue, and it's too much like the strip I just put in for color-wise, and I'm like, no, I want something that's more contrasting. So I'm gonna take a look. I'm also thinking about cutting this out of my calendar piece that says June. It's in June or February, and I looked and it's actually February, so I'm not going to use that piece. But I was pretty sure it was February, and then I'm like, can I fudge it? Nobody would ever know, but I don't like it, so it's all good anyway. And then this is going to go on. I haven't fudged any of my other dates, so why start now? but I knew it was June or February because it was 0206. So I think it's February 6th, not June 2nd. And I remember it being snowy and gross outside, but that doesn't actually mean anything. I live in Alberta and it can be snowy and gross in June anytime. So any time of the year it can be snowy and gross. So I'm just going to put this black ripped piece on the top and the bottom. On the top it's actually going underneath the acetate, and on the bottom it kind of is, but you don't see the acetate on the bottom part. So just a little different bit of texture. Putting my glue lid on so my fine tip doesn't clog up, and then figuring out how I'm going to hide this to me. And so I'm going to pull out this one that says photographs, and that works out pretty good. And I'm going to pop that up on foam adhesive, and I'm just going to cut the long piece off, and man, did that make that easy and fast. And then on it goes. So I do only have a title and some sputtery bits left to do and getting this glued down. So I'm happy with my layers, and I just put a big blob of that on because I do want quite a bit on this acetate for the glue, and so that it stays. So there is some on that paper too to give it a good anchor point, and it looks like it's going to stick really well, so that's great. And so a piece of plastic to cover it up, and so I'm going to use both of my blue glimmer mists, and I'm going to use my charcoal one. So that one of them is called something Frost. I can't remember what they're called. If you want to know, just give me a comment below and I'll look it up. But they're glimmer mists, so they haven't been made for eons and eons. I go look for my charcoal, but it's in front of me, so there we go. This is glimmer mist too. They're gonna last me forever. I've had these probably a dozen years. And I did get a couple big blobs of this, but oh well. And then wet wipe, take some of it off the picture, and then I'm gonna look at title, and I have these black and white alphas. They're like a puffy alpha, and I got these from Hip Kit Club too. And my title is going to be Relax. So I got it going there, and then I decided, I looked at it, went, I don't want it hanging off the edge. So I did move that X over so it overlaps the film strip a little bit, and I like that as well. It anchors it. I dabbed with the wet wipe in those two big blobs, and I wish I just left it, but that is what it is. And I think we are done. So here it is close up. Lots of texture. I really like how this turned out. And here's some close-ups. The photos look a little weird, maybe. I don't know. There's lots of texture there, and my camera really wanted to pick up the texture. I don't know why. Oh well. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked my video, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would love to have you here, and there's some more videos here. Also, make sure you take a look at some of the other creatives that are playing along with Mixed Media Mayhem. Have yourself a great day.